Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Motordrome Speedway, where tonight the Lincoln Electric Company, Lincoln Welders, and Valley National Gases present the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series, 5 divisions strong, including the crown jewel event for the Lincoln Welders Open Wheel Modifieds this evening. At this time, we will pause for opening ceremonies. We ask that everyone who is moving around the Speedway grounds, please pause with us for just a moment. At this time, all of you who are seated, please rise. And gentlemen, remove your caps, as we will have an invocation delivered by Ray Kaiser of the New Stanton United Methodist Church. And joining us here on the front straight to present the colors of America, Boy Scout Troop 4 from Munhall, Pennsylvania. At this time, we will turn the microphone over to Ray Kaiser for tonight's invocation.
Dear Lord, we come humbly and thankfully into your presence. Thankful, Lord, that we can live in a country where we're free to enjoy an evening out. Lord, I pray that you would watch over each of us tonight, watch over our hearts, our minds, and our bodies, Lord. I pray that you would watch over the drivers as they race tonight and protect them, Lord, from any harm that might befall them. Father God, I lift up everybody here and pray, Lord, that each of us gets home safely this evening, and I pray, Lord, that the things we do tonight bring you joy. In Jesus' name, amen.
And now, please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you to Ray Kaiser of the New Stanton United Methodist Church and Boy Scout Troop 4 from Munhall, Pennsylvania. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to go NASCAR racing on Lincoln Welders and Valley National Gases night here at Motordrome Speedway? We have 5 divisions of racing to present. We will begin with preliminary heat races. Ron Eifert III in car 61. Kevin Ludwig of Star Junction drives the 51. Points leader Dan Jordan of Connellsville in car 32. Owen Rimmel in 22. And 13-year-old Mary Catherine Shimko in car 44. Green flag is waving. 5-lap preliminary heat race for the amateur division of competition. Drivers racing only for trophies. No money on the line for the 4-cylinder American Flyers, and Gary Ankrum is the early leader. Smithfield driver in car 21, leading Larry Vance in 28. Larry Vance was last week's heat race winner and makes a low side pass out of turn number 2. Ankrum back to second now, and they're 3 wide headed into turn 3. Andy Giles, the meat of the sandwich, in the middle. Dan Jordan, the points leader, on top, and Ankrum holds on to second using the low line. Contact on the front straight. Andy Giles, the Mopar 05, received rear contact from Dan Jordan in 32. Ankrum holds on to the second spot. Leader Larry Vance in car 28, making only his 3rd start of the season. A veteran and feature winner in years gone by, Vance leading Gary Ankrum. Dan Jordan now in third over Giles, and Jordan's going to challenge for second. The bright orange Buick of Connellsville's Dan Jordan, three-time feature winner this season. Larry Vance, last week's heat winner, out in front. Gary Ankrum in third. And how about the 44 car, operating a motor vehicle for only about the fourth time, 13-year-old Mary Catherine Shimko in 44. Ron Eifert in the 61, another teenage driver, as Vance up front feeling the pressure on this final lap from Dan Jordan. Into turn 3 and headed to turn 4, last week's heat race winner and the points leader in 32, Larry Vance, with his second consecutive heat race win, 3 wide nearly for third. Give it to the teenager. The 04 of Bob Shipp, last year's Modified Rookie of the Year, starts 8th. Smithton's own Lonnie Hoffman in car 94, and Harry Oprah in the 01 from Bell Vernon get the green flag. Tom Beck out in front of the field in car 68. This is a team car to defending track champion Adam Kostelnik, and it went to victory lane 2 weeks ago with the NASCAR late model champion Beck behind the wheel. He leads lap number 1. And side by side, battling for second position, the 11 of John Probanich and the 32 of Matt Penaya. Both of these drivers battling for second in the quest for their first career feature victories here at Motordrome Speedway. Then it's young Tom Frank, the Ohio teenager in car 6, pulling up wheel to wheel with Penaya in 32. 8 laps the distance. Tommy Beck with a big lead now over Probanich in second. Then 4 cars under a blanket fighting for third spot. The 6 of Concord, Ohio's Tom Frank. The 32 of Plum Borough's Matt Penaya. Then Bob Shipp in the 04. And Bo Glemba in 99. Heat races here at Motordrome Speedway do not pay any cash awards, but offer championship points and help to determine the starting lineup for tonight's Lincoln Welders 25, presented by Valley National Gases. A pair of sophomore drivers battling for third. Tom Frank in the 6 and Bob Shipp in the 04. Shipp in the 04 using the low lane, a former Charger Division champion, and takes third position away from Tom Frank. Beck, your leader from Murraysville, Pennsylvania. Many times a modified winner, and more recently in his career, many times a late model winner. Driving in 2 divisions this evening and leading this first of 2 heat races for the Lincoln Welders Modifieds. Behind his big lead, John Probanich in the 11 from East McKeesport and the 04 of Bob Shipp. Current point standings for the Modifieds, finding Bob Shipp in 4th in the championship standings, and Matt Penaya in 32, 5th in the championship chase. There's the white flag for Beck on the front straight. Heated battle for second as well as for 4th. Bumper to bumper, Probanich and Shipp going into turn 1. The 11 of Probanich hanging on to second. Single file racing down the back straight as the leader heads to turn number 4. After his feature win 2 weeks ago, a heat race victory for Tom Beck in car 68. In car 5, Jim Nicola. 16 is 2-time winner Gary Scott. 97 is George Nicola from Pittsburgh. 60 is defending champion Adam Kostelnik. The 2 of Mike Musiak tagging the tail of this field. 8 laps the distance. Green is in the air, and Bernie McQuillan is the early leader in car 45. McQuillan, a first-year modified driver. Behind him, side by side, the 9 of Huffman and the 7 of Easler. Huffman has been very consistent of late in car 9, seeking his first checkered flag. The 7 of Ben Easler earned a career first heat race victory about 3 weeks ago. Wheel-to-wheel battle in the back with former champions and winners. The 5 of Jim Nicola from Pittsburgh. His nephew George Nicola in 97. The opening night winner goes wheel-to-wheel with the champion Adam Kostelnik in 60. Adam Kostelnik, car number 60, the leading winner on the season. Just in front of him, Gary Scott, now 3 wide to the high side of the racetrack, is car 16. Scott, one of the biggest winners of the season, and all 3 of those drivers nearly making contact, still 3 wide in the turn. Thrilling open-wheeled excitement for the Lincoln Welders Modifieds. Bernie McQuillan continues to lead by about 4 car lengths over Rick Huffman in the 9. Drivers racing 1 and 2 on the speedway have yet to see a checkered flag in modified competition. Then Ben Easler in the 7 in 3rd spot, making an outside bid for the runner-up position in turn 1. Huffman able to defend the 2nd position against the advances of young Ben Easler from Allison Park in car 7. Jefferson Hills driver Rick Huffman hanging on to the runner-up spot, and a career best run for Bernie McQuillan, leading the way with 5 of 8 laps completed. George Nicola, meanwhile, who started in the last row, has moved his way up to the 4th spot. He has the division-leading winner Kostelnik to the outside of him in car 60, with Gary Scott in the 16 close in tow. 2 laps to go for McQuillan is the signal by Chief Starter Denny Carson. Huffman having a brilliant run in car number 9, holding off the recently improved Ben Easler, who has led feature laps, won heat races, and now has to back off and is clipped by Nicola. Tough break as the driver of car number 7 able to continue on. He had to back off the throttle to save the car from a spin down the back straight. The 97 of George Nicola got into him as he was slowing, and that resulted in even harder contact from Jim Nicola in the 5. Also collected Gary Scott and perhaps Adam Kostelnik. Wins and 5 heat race wins this season. There's the green flag with 2 to go. Challenge for 2nd. Huffman feels the pressure of Nicola on the inside and quickly falls back to 3rd, maybe 4th. Adam Kostelnik climbs into 3rd. Bad restart for Huffman, who drove a brilliant 6 laps and now loses 3 positions on 1 lap. The distance is 8 laps, and we'll begin working lap number 7 with Bernie McQuillan seeing the white flag indicating final time around the Motordrome Speedway for the Lincoln Welders Modifieds. In the 2nd preliminary heat race, George Nicola in 2nd, Adam Kostelnik in 3rd. George Nicola 6th in the championship points chase, in 2nd on the racetrack. McQuillan drifts up and opens the lower lane at the checkered flag. McQuillan gets his first win. From Wall, Pennsylvania in 69. 20-year veteran John Komarinsky from Greensburg in car 33. Clarksburg, West Virginia's John Messenger in 51. The 8 is Dan Lewis from Monongahela, and the 00 Larry Bahana in his 2nd start of the year. 3 wide in the middle of the pack and door-to-door for the lead. The NASCAR Super Late Models. Gary Wiltrout to the inside and Greg Kelly up top, leading lap number 1 of 10. It will be Kelly by a fender. The 2003 Truck Division champion, Greg Kelly, in the Froggy 98 machine as a super late model rookie. Makes a move on Gary Wiltrout to take the early lead. John Komarinsky into 3rd. Mr. Consistency, John Messenger 4th. Kelly holding off the former track champion. And a battle for 3rd could soon develop. John Komarinsky had a stellar run in last week's 35-lap feature, but he's feeling the pressure of West Virginia's John Messenger. Messenger in car 51, seeking his first career feature victory. He has won preliminary heat races in past seasons and Top Dog Challenge Dash events. Now we're door-to-door for the lead, officially at the scoring line on lap 4. Greg Kelly hangs on to the top spot by a fender. Gary Wiltrout was right there to challenge. Official lead changes taking place only at the scoring line at the flag stand, and Wiltrout out of turn 4, about to make another run on the rookie, but Kelly continues to lead. Battle for third, now a heated one. Komarinsky in the outside in the Rolling Rock 33. John Messenger in 51, fourth in the championship point standings, fourth on the racetrack, challenging Komarinsky. And we're door to door for the lead again. This time Wiltrout by a fender, working lap number 6 of 10. The 2005 Napa 100 winner and 2002 track champion Gary Wiltrout out in front by a fender over young Greg Kelly, the former truck champion in car 98, while Komarinsky still hangs on to third, fighting off Messenger. A loose handling condition is the way to describe John Komarinsky's number 33 in turn 4 and in turn 1. The rear end of the car tending to slide out toward the outside retaining wall, making a loose handling condition. Even still, he is now pulling away by 4 and 5 car lengths over Messenger in fourth. Last week, a fantastic drive in the feature event by John Komarinsky, coming home in fourth position, now third on the racetrack and maybe closing on the leaders as Wiltrout sees the white flag indicating final lap. The driver of the Benz Motorsports, Lint Flooring number 60, Gary Wiltrout, has one feature victory already this season and a pair of heat race wins, and holding off rookie Greg Kelly will see the checkered flag for another preliminary victory. Henry from Connellsville in car 11. Brandon Mans from North Huntington, second in the championship standings, drives car 15. Outside, it's Chad Hemphill in car number 18, and Curtis Stewart in car 26, making his first start of the season as a late model rookie. Out in front, Richard Mitchell taking the lead. Tommy Beck falls into the second position. Mitchell, a two-time Motordrome track champion. Beck, last year's Jennerstown track champion. Beck feeling the pressure from Bobby Henry. Henry in car number 11, a 7-time heat race winner, going door to door with Beck down the back straight. In turn number 3, Henry with a fender in front of the 91 of Beck and now completes the pass for second position. Battle develops on the front straight, nearly making contact, working lap number 2. Brandon Mans in 15, moving up to fourth, and now they do make contact. Steve Black in car number 1, they nearly collided on the front straight, and Mans now completes the pass for fourth, but gets contact from the rear with Steve Black in car number 1. Black recently competed in a Mara 100-lap event at the Lake Erie Speedway in Northeast Pennsylvania, holding down 5th spot in car number 1. Then Brandon Mans, the championship contender in car 15, up to 4th. Working lap number 4 of 10. The division's only 5-time feature winner, Richard Mitchell, out in front. Last week, he and Bobby Henry had a memorable duel for the feature win. Henry in the Paula Grudo Motorsports number 11 in second position. At the halfway point, crossed flags from the starter stand indicate 5 laps down and 5 to go. Mitchell in the Tom Clark Chevrolet Howard Concrete Pumping number 22, the leading winner thus far in the season and championship points leader. Bobby Henry in the 11 is second on the racetrack, third in the championship points. Then Tommy Beck in car 91 is third, the recent modified feature winner. He's won several times in the late models going back to 2002 and prior. And then fourth, Brandon Mans of North Huntington seeking a career first victory. And the Office Plus Ford number 15. White flag indicates final lap to Richard Mitchell. The West Virginia driver, a 2-time champion here at Motordrome Speedway in 1999 and 2000. Last season, he won 8 feature events, and this season leads the championship chase in the quest for a 3rd title with 5 feature victories. And at the checkered flag, the car number 22 picks up his 9th heat race win of the season over Bobby Henry. Kostelnik in the 0-5. 31 is Sean Phillips from Waynesburg, and 34 is Rich Nicola. Green flag in the air, 8 laps for the Subway Street Stocks. Bill Henry in the 64 car led several laps of feature and heat race competition recently. And starting from the pole, he is unable to thwart the advance of outside starter Rich Burbage, who's sideways in front of the field in turn 4. Door to door for the lead. Burbage by just about 7 inches is officially the leader on lap 1, still glued side by side with Henry, and a problem in turn 2. Rich Nicola in 34, 31 of Phillips, and the points leader spins down the back straight. Last week's winner of the Subway 25, Frank Turek, is into the inside wall on the back straight. Caution flag is out. Sheen. Then it's the hammer, Dave Tavermina in 3rd. Joe Nicola in 4th, Adam Kostelnik in 5th on the restart with 7 laps to go. Contact between Tavermina and Henry. 64 of Henry nearly has it saved, but backs into the outside retaining wall after contact from Tavermina. The 25 of Tavermina, one-time feature winner this season. At this point, he remains solidly 2nd in the championship chase. We stay green with contact on the front straight this time. Kostelnik and Nicola rubbing doors at the flag stand. Action all over the racetrack with 2 of 8 laps completed. Bill Henry brings the 64 car into the pit area after a nice save when he was hit from behind by Tavermina, who's now challenging Nicola for 2nd. Nicola family racing members in 2nd and 4th. 69 of West Mifflin, Pennsylvania's Joe Nicola, a 4-time feature winner and 4-time heat race winner. Tavermina in 25 looks to the inside of him with former Pure Stock champ Rich Nicola in car 34 hanging on to 4th spot. Officially at the scoring line, Tavermina in 2nd spot as Rich Burbage is running away with this heat race. Burbage has won heats before here at Motordrome Speedway, but has yet to take a checkered flag in 2006. Nicola family now door to door with 3 laps remaining. Rich Nicola in the 34. In the 3rd spot, sending Joe Nicola back not only to 4th, but now to 5th as Adam Kostelnik is on the move. The Folkmeyer-owned 0-5 of modified champion Adam Kostelnik, now 4th on the racetrack with 2 laps to go. In last week's Subway 25, a rare street stock start for our modified champion Kostelnik in 0-5, he came home 2nd to the defending champion. Now challenging Rich Nicola for 3rd in this heat race as Rich Burbage sees the white flag for the first time this season. He could be headed for a heat race win. 2005 was an unlucky season for Burbage, the Newcastle, Pennsylvania resident in car 77. He is seeking sponsorship help to contribute much needed dollars to his racing program, and your sponsor would be mentioned right now as Rich Burbage is winning his first heat race of the season in car 77. And from Perryopolis, 6 laps the distance for the Yellow Book Charger division. 8-cylinder rear-wheel drive automatic transmission race cars. 4 wide briefly on the front straight. A wild start to begin the Yellow Book Charger racing here on Lincoln Welder's night at the Speedway. 3 and 4 wide yields to points leader Tracy Keller taking the lead. Then a pair of American Flyer Division graduates as Charger rookies Ruffsdale's Matt Gardner in the 7 and Aaron Minjock from Greenock, PA in 34. From the back of the pack, the 95 is Jimmy Stokes, a 3-time feature winner this season. Make that 4-time feature winner. Most recent victor in feature racing was Stokes last week, who's 4th on the track. And Aaron Minjock, the 2-time winner as a division rookie, takes away the 2nd spot from Gardner. Tracy Keller of Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, leading the championship point standings and this heat race. Minjock in 34, the Buick Regal to the outside of Jimmy Stokes' Monte Carlo. Stokes touches the dirt inside the apron of the racetrack and challenging for second, which is still maintained by Minjock. Last season, Minjock was a feature winner in our entry-level Advance Auto Parts American Flyers division. And this time, Stokes in the 95 proves to be too much for him out of turn 2. Stokes takes over the runner-up spot, but now drifts high and sliding contact from Minjock. And Stokes loses a wheel, spinning out of turn number 4 to bring out the caution. Great job by Clifford Abbott to dodge that. I said he lost a wheel. Check that. He lost just the tire. The rim is still mounted on the back of last week's winning ride, and he will attempt to limp to the pit area, sands the rubber on the left rear of 95. That's a rare occurrence, I'm here to tell you. We see the Yellow Book Charger Division cars break hubs and wheels off the car on a pretty regular basis, but to lose only the tire from the rim is a pretty strange occurrence, and it just happened to last week's feature winner, Jimmy Stokes. 3 more laps to settle this first preliminary heat race for the Yellow Book Chargers. Tracy Keller leading Aaron Minjock and Matt Gardner. 4th, it's Robbie Hott in that yellow Malibu. Hott, many times a demolition derby champion at speedways throughout the area. Moves into oval track racing and has been pretty successful this season out of his home in Washington, PA. Finally, the action settles down after 3 wild and crazy laps with the Yellow Book Chargers. The Chargers are the entry level of rear-wheel drive competition, as all race cars tend to be. They're all automatic transmissions. They're all the factory power plants from these cars when they were street automobiles, and they're modified basically just to protect the driver with roll cages, fuel cells, and of course the drivers wearing fireproof racing suits, as do all of our divisions. Drivers running 2nd and 3rd are rookies to this division after moving up from the 4-cylinder front-wheel drive American Flyer class. And Tracy Keller takes the checkered flag in his championship leading season over Aaron Minjock. Christoffel starting to the inside of Andy Hogan's Mopar, car number 70. The 13 car, a Charger that is for sale, that is Denny Keller, the opening night feature winner, and the 11 is Victor Keller. 2 more members of the Keller Racing family as we go green and 3 wide at the start again. More wild and crazy action from the Yellow Book Chargers at the wave of the green flag. Rick Broadwater out in front, a 2-time heat race winner this season. Bringing with him racing rookie Jimmy Christoffel in the 04, 13 of Denny Keller sliding to the apron of the racetrack, battling Ed Neidhart in the 68 for 3rd. Broadwater leads lap number 1. Christoffel in 2nd. 2 racing rookies, 2nd and 3rd on the racetrack. From Jefferson Hills, the 04 of Jimmy Christoffel. And from Renfrew, the 68 of Ed Neidhart. Here comes Keller in 13. Feature winner on opening night, the driver of car number 13, Denny Keller. Charging now to the inside of Ship, trying to battle for 2nd position. 3 members of the Keller Racing family on hand with us tonight in Charger competition as Rick Broadwater sees the crossed flags indicating halfway. Broadwater in car number 9, 2nd in the championship point standings, holding off rookie Jimmy Christoffel. That 04 car carried Brian and Bobby Ship to Charger victories in seasons past, and he's looking to challenge for a heat race win. Broadwater in the Oldsmobile loses the lead to the Monte Carlo of Christoffel. 13 of Denny Keller moves up as well. Broadwater goes from leading 4 laps to 3rd. Christoffel out in front looking for a first checkered flag. He sees the white flag last time around. The Denny Keller number 13 car is for sale. No sales pitch, quite like taking a checkered flag, but now he falls off in the battle for the lead. Broadwater into third, and true racing rookie from Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania in the 04, Jimmy Christoffel takes the heat race victory. Flyers, the entry level of competition, a great way to move from the grandstands to the speedway at an affordable cost with a minimum amount of work, and the green flag is out. Problems with the points leader. 32 of Dan Jordan spins, makes contact with the 05 of Andy Giles, the recent feature winner. Jordan's Buick is stopped in turn number 1. As the rest of the field continues on, we're going to bring out the caution and have a complete restart for the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers. At Miley's Auto Service in Carnegie for another opportunity at 2 free chances to Motordrome. Here's the green flag with Kevin Ludwig and Ron Eifert the front row. Complete restart, no laps completed. Jordan now changes to the low line after that problem with the high side of the racetrack. Glad to see the points leader return to competition after some speedy pit crew work on the 32. Teenager Ron Eifert III leading the pack over veteran Larry Vance with 2 straight heat race victories in car 28. Battle for the lead, Vance to the inside, Eifert in the 61 using the high side of the speedway. Larry Vance in a Ford Tempo, taking position away from the Chevy Cavalier of Ron Eifert, while Kevin Ludwig's Pontiac Grand Am holds on to third. Here comes the Buick of Dan Jordan. Pontiac Sunbird is the choice for Gary Ankrum in car 21, and the Dodge Shadow, Andy Giles, the 05, last in that lead group with 2 of 8 laps completed. After that hard contact in turn 1, Dan Jordan advances to third position around the 51 of Kevin Ludwig and quickly closes in on the 61 of Ron Eifert. Jordan is the leading feature winner in the division as well as the championship points leader. Eifert in the 61 pinches that car down low, and that allows Jordan the chance at second position. 4 of 8 laps completed. Jordan from last up to second. Larry Vance the leader in car 28. Vance, who has led all 5 laps, is fast approaching the Mary Catherine Shimko 44 car, which will put the teenager a lap down as Jordan looks to the high side to bid for the lead. Problem, Kevin Ludwig spins in turn 4. Gary Ankrum gets a piece of the 51 car. Another caution flag on lap 6, and early race leader Ron Eifert heads to the pits in car 61. Kevin Ludwig in car number 51, not only a driver in the American Flyers division, but also a car owner as he fields the Yellow Book Charger number 51, driven by Perryopolis resident Clifford Abbott. And Ludwig in the 51 trying to refire that Pontiac Grand Am to continue racing in this 8-lap feature event. Gary Ankrum made contact with Ludwig, and the Smithfield driver is now headed pit side where Eifert has already pulled the 61 car in. Piece of Pepsi products and a Subway gift certificate as the green flag is out. Gary Ankrum in the 21 got a pretty good start, but not as good as Andy Giles, who's challenging the points leader for second at the wave of the white flag. Larry Vance, who was in jeopardy of losing the lead before the caution, has the battle of the 05 of Giles slowing down Dan Jordan and allowing him to run away on the final lap. Side by side, the battle for second, Giles and Jordan taking his first win of this season. It's Larry Vance in the 28. Jordan inches out Giles for second. Including the all-important trophy, as these amateur drivers do not receive cash awards. They're doing it for love of the sport, and he would love to hear a round of applause from you folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Vance.
Thank you very much.
Well, Larry, we haven't seen very much of you this season, but whenever you come out to race, it seems like you're taking the checkered flag. 2 straight heat race wins, and now a feature win. How many starts is this in feature competition in 2006?
Like my wife, you want me to have a memory. I have no idea.
We've only seen you maybe 3 or 4 times at the most this season, and now to come here in Victory Lane, how many years have you been racing with this same car?
This car, I think, is about the 4th year for this, so it's held up very well.
And you've come close to winning track championships. You've won a lot of features in the past. What was the game plan for this season? Only when you have time to bring it out?
Actually, I had a lot of stuff going on. My kid's going to college, which takes all the money. So this is the money I hid away from him he doesn't know about. So that's why I was a little late.
Well, he'll still be proud of you earning that trophy. We have a Subway gift certificate for you, as well as the other prizes. How about a chance to thank any crew and sponsors that helped make this effort possible?
Barry Smith from Kenny Ross Ford, John Stern from Beyond the Motor Company, and of course my lovely wife who still puts up with this.
Well, she's putting up with it, and a trophy for the mantle tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Vance, feature winner in the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers. A division rookie after leading the Charger division in feature wins and championship standings last season. Welcome from Vanderbilt, Pennsylvania, the driver of car 50, Jeff Giles. Starting inside the last row in the Froggy 94 machine, a Subway street stock graduate as a modified rookie. He calls his hometown right here in Smithton. Ladies and gentlemen, in car 94, Lonnie Hoffman. One of the hottest young drivers of late comes from Allison Park, Pennsylvania. Got a career first heat race win a couple weeks back and drives the J. Yerd chassis number 7. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Easler. Another division of Charger division competition. He graduated this season as a modified rookie. He drives car number 40. Make welcome Brian Shipp. Up next, he's only been racing the modifieds a few weeks with us here at Motordrome Speedway. The driver of car number 2 hails from Export, Pennsylvania. Welcome, Mike Musiak. Starting to his inside, one of the most improved drivers of late with a pair of heat race victories. The driver coming from Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania, and the Olstead number 01. Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Opfer. Starting outside of row number 6, the defending 2-time modified champion, driving the Viglione Motorsports number 60, the leading winner of the season, coming from East McKeesport, Pennsylvania, Adam Kostelnik. Inside of row number 6, with a feature and heat race victory already this season, the driver from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, always a threat to win in car 97, George Nicola. Outside of row number 5, a Subway Street Stock Division graduate who calls his hometown Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. Please make welcome racing veteran in modified number 1, Dave McManus. Starting inside of McManus, the driver of modified number 9, very consistently finishing up front of late, the driver from Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Huffman. On to row number 4, starting on the outside, last year's modified rookie of the year, a former Charger division champion from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, the driver of car 04, Bob Shipp. inside of row number 4, all the way from Concord, Ohio. Another one of the teenage standouts in this division. The stands transmission number 6 is driven by Tom Frank. Up to row number 3 after his first career heat race victory in the modifieds earlier tonight. Hailing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, driving car number 45 and starting 6th, welcome Bernie McQuillan. Starting in 5th spot, he was our guest earlier tonight on our AM 590 pre-race radio show. The popular driver from Plumboro, Pennsylvania, last season was 5th in the championship point standings. The driver of car number 32 is Matt Panaya. On to row number 2. He's won many modified features here at Motordrome Speedway, the most recent coming just 2 weeks ago. In the Viglione Motorsports team car number 68 from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, Tom Beck. Starting 3rd on the inside of row number 2 from Irwin, Pennsylvania. The driver with 2 feature wins and 5 heat race wins already this season. The Swissvale Music number 16 is veteran Gary Scott. And on the front row, seeking his first career victory, last season's most popular driver, in car number 11 from East McKeesport, Pennsylvania, welcome John Prabanich. Starting from the pole tonight, with 2 feature victories already this season, coming into tonight's racing action, 3rd in the championship point standings, from Charleroi, Pennsylvania, in car 99, Bo Glemba. And after making lengthy repairs to car number 5, he will tag the tail of this field. A 2-time modified champion from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, rolling out now in car number 5, Jim Nicola. That is the starting field for tonight's Lincoln Welders 25, presented by Valley National Gases. 25 laps, the extra distance crown jewel event of the 2006 schedule for the open wheel modified. And one of Valley National Gases customers, Jeff, climbing the flag stand for tonight as the honor of waving the green flag to get this race underway. Thanks to Jeff for being here and starting this race. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Valley National Gases, it's time for the most famous words in racing.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Gary Scott and Tom Beck in row 2, Matt Panaya and Bernie McQuillan in row 3. Here they come for the wave of the green flag, and the Lincoln Welders 25 is underway. Wheel to wheel for the lead on lap 1. Gary Scott in car 16 will lead them to score lap number 1 of 25. Scott, already this season a 2-time feature winner, 2nd in the championship points chase, and behind him, wheel-to-wheel feature winners, Tom Beck in the 68 and Bo Glemba in 99. Problems for Ben Easler out of turn 4. He's hard into the front straight wall. Ben Easler received some contact as the car broke loose. He tried to correct, and when he did, there was a modified right to the inside of him. Wheel-to-wheel contact, never a good thing, and Easler feels the bite of the outside wall concrete. The young, popular driver from Allison Park who races go-karts as well as modifieds. Heavy damage to the right front of the J. Yerd chassis. He won a heat race just a couple of weeks ago and had been steadily improving. With a loose handling condition out of turn 4 and contact from another car, His Lincoln Welders 25 ends on lap 2. Green flag is out, 23 laps remaining in the Lincoln Welders 25, presented by National Gases, Valley National Gases Incorporated. Gary Scott, the leader, now Tom Beck looking to make a bid for the lead as fourth position is changing hands. Bob Shipp dives to the inside of Probanich and takes that position away in the 04 car. Gary Scott leading Beck and Glemba. 3 cars breaking away from the 04 of Bob Shipp now, working lap 4 of 25. Wheel-to-wheel battle back for about the 8th or 9th position. George Nicola in 97 makes a move on the 6 of Tom Frank. We're scoring lap number 5 in single file racing through the top 10 positions now, with Nicola moving up around Frank. Scott the leader over Beck, then Glemba. Positions 5, 6, and 7 beginning to tighten up now. John Probanich in the 11 holds down 5th. Heat race winner earlier tonight, Bernie McQuillan in 45, right on his rear bumper. Then it's the 32 of Matt Penaya and the advancing 97 of Nicola in turn 4, a spin. The 1 of Dave McManus has spun in front of the leaders, and everybody needs to get to the high side to avoid him. Sorry, it's the 2 car. It's the 2 of Mike Musiak. My apologies, a black-looking car. I called it the 1 of McManus, and I am dead wrong thanks to the scores. It's the 2 of Mike Musiak from Export, Pennsylvania, bringing out the caution. Is Adam Kostelnik, the championship points leader, coming into tonight as the green flag waves. 23 more laps to go. Tom Beck looking to the inside to fight for the lead with Gary Scott in car 16. Scott slams the door on him. Beck has to let off the throttle and loses 2 or 3 car lengths now, working lap number 8. "25 lap feature distance tonight, working lap number 8. Scott with now 4 car lengths of advantage over Beck, a result of Beck getting on the binders to avoid contact when Scott slammed the door closed on the inside lane. That allowed Bo Glemba in 99 to reach out and touch the back bumper of Beck on lap 9 down the front straight. Battle for second is now much closer than it was when Beck was challenging for the lead. Bob Shipp in 4th, just a couple car lengths behind them. 4 cars breaking away now from the 45 of McQuillan in 5th. At mid-pack, the championship points leader, Adam Kostelnik, is challenging wheel-to-wheel with George Nicola, 2 veteran competitors who fought for many a feature victory side by side last season. And again in turn number 3 this time, a spin by the 2 of Mike Musiak. And again, the leaders have to get hard on the binders to avoid car number 2. In car 45. He's 5th now with Shipp, Glemba, Beck ahead of him, and Gary Scott leading him back to the green flag on lap 11 of 25. Big problem out of turn number 2. The 1 of McManus this time spinning. He had help from another car, it looked like, as they exited turn number 2. McManus, the street stock division graduate in car number 1, pulls away from the scene of the accident without assistance. And we're still working lap number 11 for a restart. Green is back out. Man on the move is Adam Kostelnik in car 60 at mid-pack. Finally makes a high side pass of George Nicola after racing wheel to wheel with him, then quickly moved around the 32 of Panaya and is about to challenge the 11 of John Probanich for 6th on the speedway. Kostelnik, the two-time defending champion, started 12th on the grid. He's now in 7th position. Now Kostelnik is wheel to wheel with Probanich in the 11 car. The battle for 6th rages on. Kostelnik making high side passes all through this field and now clears the 11 of Probanich. He's passed 3 cars in 2 laps. Next in his sights after starting 12th will be the 45 of Bernie McQuillan in 5th position. Up front, leader Gary Scott working lap number 15. And bunched up just a few car lengths from his rear bumper. Tommy Beck in the 68 and Bo Glemba in the 99. Glemba has several times been close enough to touch the rear of Beck's car, and Bob Shipp not falling far behind the lead threesome. Battle for 5th in turn number 2. McQuillan in 45. And defending champ Adam Kostelnik looking to the inside on the back straight. Most of Kostelnik's passes up from 12th have been on the outside. Now he makes a lane change and finds himself on the scoreboard in 5th in front of McQuillan. 18 of 25 laps completed and Gary Scott's lead has opened up. Scott maybe 15 car lengths in front of Tommy Beck, who gets rear bumper contact from Glemba and Shipp. Beck may be slowing and holding up the 99 of Glemba and the 04 of Shipp. As Scott runs away with this event, now working lap 19. 3 cars slugging it out for the 2nd position. Front row starter John Probanich, heartbreaking, pulls into the pit area with car 11. And Scott now sees the signal of 5 laps to go up front in car 16. Beck in car 60, riding in the 2nd spot, continues to feel the pressure of the 99 of Glemba and the 04 of Bob Shipp. They are falling far behind Gary Scott, who's nearly got a straightaway lead now on lap 21 of 25. With 3 laps to go, 2nd place car of Tommy Beck showing the fire of the brakes, indicating he is hard on the binders with perhaps a handling problem, but he's still got enough horsepower to hold off Glemba and Shipp as Kostelnik is quickly closing on that 3-car battle for 2nd with 2 to go. Glemba in car 99 may be trying a high side pass as he and Shipp are making contact now in turn 4 at the wave of the white flag for the leader. Shipp backed off after light contact with the rear of Glemba's car, and Kostelnik tries to capitalize on the high side, but headed into turn number 3. In the biggest event of the season, the Lincoln Welders 25, presented by Valley National Gases, Gary Scott gets his 3rd win of the season. Gases. He can hear you now, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Scott. A kiss from his wife in victory lane and a hug from Peanuts Eustace, the setup man for car 16. And oh, Gary, something that you have in common with the winner of last week's Subway Street Stock big event, you and Frank Turek have both been racing a long time, and he told me last week it was the first time he ever won the big one. Have you ever been in victory lane for a big special event like this?
This is the first.
Well, congratulations to you. Many years of racing, dirt, pavement, go-karts, all kinds of things. 25-lap feature tonight. A lot of drivers were thinking patience with the extra distance. All your moves came right at the start of this race. Tell us about your game plan.
Well, I figured I had to get by Bo. Bo runs good, man, and I figured I had to get him in the first lap or I'd have to follow him, and I knew Tommy would be right there. So it's what I had to do.
He did it very early. Now, in the later stages of the race, you were starting to pull away. Was that one getting easy for you? Was the car right on the money for handling tonight?
It was starting to get a little loose. It was pushing loose. It wasn't as good, but, you know, it finished. Yeah.
Well, behind you, there were some cars getting really loose, and you pulled away from that battle. Tell us what this win means. I know you've had some wins here on the pavement that have made you really happy, particularly your first one this year after last year's bad crash, but this one has to be the trophy that's going to go right up front in the trophy case.
Yeah, no, this is cool. We never won an extended race before, so this is the first one. I'll remember this one.
And now a chance to thank the sponsors and crew that made 16 such a fast rocket ship tonight.
Okay, Peanuts and Jared Chassis guys, he's the one that makes the car handle the way it does. Obviously the music store, Swiss Phone Music, Salerno's Pizza, Imperial Heights Chassis, Advanced Automotive, Ed's Auto Service, Imperial Heights, and the Bush Brothers Tire. And I'd like to thank, obviously, my wife. My daughter's here for the first time in the pits. And Sal, Peanuts, my brother. I'd like to dedicate this race to Larry Germack. I wanted to do that earlier, and you can't never remember, but I have his name on the car, and he was a good friend.
A great tribute by winning the Lincoln Welders 25, presented by Valley National Gases. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Scott. The car 22 from Brewston Mills, West Virginia. Then the 00 of Larry Bahana in his second start of the season. The 18 is Chad Hemphill. As we get set to go, green flag racing, 35 laps with the Napa NASCAR Super Late Models. Curtis Stewart drives the 26. And we are underway with Gary Wiltrout out in front by a car length over Greg Kelly. Two drivers who fought for a preliminary heat race win earlier tonight on Lincoln Electric Night at the Speedway. Dave Merrow in the 69 dropping 2 wheels below the apron of the Speedway and kicking dust onto the racing surface for fellow competitors. Gary Wiltrout slammed the door on a possible inside pass by Greg Kelly in second. 3 wide on the front straight. Points leader Mitchell backs off the gas to let Steve Black and Dan Lewis settle their fight for that position, but goes 3 wide again on the back straight, does Mitchell. Last week's winner in car 22, passing 2 at a time, headed into turn 3 as Wiltrout continues to lead. Gary Wiltrout and rookie Greg Kelly, first and second, pulling away from Dave Merrow in 69 and Tom Beck in 91. Komarinsky has to get on the brakes to avoid contact with Merrow, and that allows Bobby Henry in the 11 to dive to the inside. He takes the position away from Komarinsky and is quickly challenging Merrow in 69 for 4th. Bobby Henry into turn 3, nearly completes the pass of rookie Dave Merrow for 4th. Closing in on the 91 of Beck in 3rd, and then a heated battle for 5th on back. rookie Merrow in the 69. Then side by side, John Messenger and John Komarinsky going 3 wide on the back straight. More 3 wide racing as Messenger does the wise thing, allowing those 2 drivers to race for position, watching it from behind safely. Meanwhile, Bobby Henry has taken away 3rd from Tom Beck in the 91. Working lap 7 of 35. Leader Gary Wiltrout. 2nd, Greg Kelly, just about a car length and a half away from the back bumper of the former champion. Bobby Henry in 3rd, Tom Beck in 4th, and John Komarinsky now pulling away from that heated battle for 6th. Komarinsky up to 5th with several car lengths of breathing room between John Messenger and Dave Merrow, who now settle the 6th position, with Messenger climbing up in car 51 and bringing along fellow Mountaineer State resident Richard Mitchell in 22. Wiltrout's lead remains just over a car length, with Greg Kelly in 2nd and a fellow Connellsville, Pennsylvania resident Bobby Henry, who started mid-pack, now to the inside of Kelly challenging. 3 drivers, very close friends off the racetrack. Wiltrout the leader, now Henry up to 2nd over Kelly. The 3 cars leading this event on lap 11, up front as close friends and virtual teammates, with pit crew help shared by all 3 of those automobiles. And now Henry changes lanes to the outside after an inside move on Greg Kelly. He has the lint flooring sponsor made of Gary Wiltrout beneath him and makes a high side pass to take over the lead on lap 12. Battle for 4th, John Komarinsky reeling in Tommy Beck and making the pass in car 33. The popular 20-year veteran from Greensburg, Komarinsky, solidly in the top 5 last week and now gaining positions, possibly headed to challenge for a podium spot. Bobby Henry now opening up a big lead over Gary Wiltrout in 2nd. Greg Kelly in 3rd, Komarinsky 4th, Tom Beck in 5th, and here comes 12th starting Richard Mitchell in car 22, looking to the inside of Beck out of turn 4. With 20 laps to go, Bobby Henry motoring away from Gary Wiltrout. Henry with 3 feature wins this season. Wiltrout, a one-time winner in 2nd. Then Greg Kelly and John Komarinsky both seeking career-first late model victories. Both have been victorious in other divisions. And speaking of victorious, the leading winner in the division this season, Richard Mitchell, challenges Komarinsky to the inside. The championship points leader in car 22, taking away the 4th position. Working lap 17 now after starting 12th. Mitchell up to 4th. Kelly hanging on to 3rd, and a problem right on the front straight. Chad Hemphill in 18 and Steve Black in the 1 in a very unusual looking tandem spin on the front straight. Leader Gary Wiltrout 2nd. Greg Kelly 3rd, Richard Mitchell 4th, and John Komarinsky 5th, working lap 17 of 35. Brandon Manns in car 15 makes an outside move to challenge John Messenger. On the front straight and into turn number 1, Manns in the outside lane. Messenger on the inside. Chevrolet Monte Carlo to the inside. Ford Taurus on the outside, battling for the 7th position. At the scoring line, Manns officially takes that spot on lap 19. And in front of them, a challenge develops for 3rd. Richard Mitchell in car 22, and Greg Kelly, the late model rookie in 98, and a spin down the back straight. Curtis Stewart in the 26 car spins in his first late model start of the season. Car number 26 making his first start of the season in a NASCAR Super Late Model. Curtis Stewart, who was a winning truck division driver and Charger division driver in seasons past. The 26 machine, a former Bob Arsenberger car, going way back in time. Racing full speed, and there's the green. .15 laps to go, and Bobby Henry puts several car lengths between himself and former champion Gary Wiltrout as the front two runners. Door to door is the battle for third. Richard Mitchell takes the spot away from Greg Kelly on lap 21. Mitchell started 12th in the feature event, and it looks like John Komarinsky may soon be challenging Kelly for 4th. Mitchell and Wiltrout, veteran late model competitors, now in a fight for second position. Wiltrout tries to move to the inside and take that lane away from Mitchell. Now in turn 2, he drifts high with the 60 machine. Mitchell shoots through for the second position, and now the West Virginian leading the championship standings has gained 10 positions on the racetrack in tonight's feature event, with Bobby Henry still out in front. Battle for 6th. Championship contender Brandon Manns, second in the points chase in car 15, dives to the inside of Tom Beck in the 91. The Office Plus D&D Ford Taurus now advancing around Beck and taking away the 6th position just in front of him. The battle of Komarinsky and Kelly heats up. Wheel to wheel in turn 3. Komarinsky on the inside, Kelly on the outside, and Kelly maintains that position officially at the scoring line on lap 26 by a fender. Kelly doing a great job on the high lane of the speedway, and Komarinsky has to tuck back in behind. Kelly maintains position number 4. And now the big question is second place Richard Mitchell, gaining on leader Bobby Henry as we work lap 27. Komarinsky sees another opening to fight for 4th position, pulling door to door with the rookie. The Rolling Rock 33 of Komarinsky and the Froggy 98 of Greg Kelly. Racing door to door down the front straight, Kelly hangs on to the position by inches, both of them being caught by Brandon Manns. Kelly now slides 1-2 grooves up the racetrack and opens the door for Komarinsky. Kelly back to 5th, and now quickly with overheated tires, feeling the pressure of Brandon Manns in 15. 6 laps to go, and Kelly made a nice save and now pulls away by 1 full car length, hanging on to 5th spot over Brandon Manns. Now on lap 30 of 35, Bobby Henry. 3-time winner, leading 5-time winner Richard Mitchell. In 3rd, the only other feature victor of the season, Gary Wiltrout, but it's a distant 3rd, as Komarinsky is solidly in 4th. Kelly and Manns still close in the fight for the 5th spot. Two laps to go on Lincoln Welder's Valley National Gases night at Motordrome. Bobby Henry the leader, Richard Mitchell gaining slightly but running out of laps. This time, the white flag for Henry in car 11, and a door-to-door fight continues with Brandon Manns and Greg Kelly for the 5th spot. Out of turn 4 for the 4th time this season, Bobby Henry takes the checkered flag over Richard Mitchell. Time this season, he climbs from the car and can hear you, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Henry. Well, Bobby, before we talk about this week's big win, let's talk about last week that had all the fans on their seats. You started deep in this field and rose to the challenge of fighting for the win, and then in turn 4, tried maybe a little bit too hard and fell back just a little. Let's talk about last week's race for just a minute, because the guy that finished second got the best of you a week ago.
That's exactly right. I mean, we were having a good race there, and I seen a lap car coming up. I figured we'd get back up to them down here in 1 and 2, and kind of played a head game with myself and tried to put it in down 3 and 4 a little bit too hard, so I just lost the handle.
Well, you can't fault a guy for effort, and now vindication this week as you get the win over Mitchell. Let's talk about some of those moves. There were some 3-wide passes all through the field tonight, and you took a couple chances early in this race tonight.
Well, almost have to. When Richard's coming, I know he's coming. You almost have to get there as soon as you can and go, but everything worked out real good. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, Lint Flooring, Stone & Company, Megan Ford, K&R Commercial Tire, Rockwood Retaining Walls, Quality Support, Bob Mongell Car Care, Colton's Restaurant, Fox's Pizza, Daily Courier, and I want to thank Valley Welding for tonight's races, and got to thank my crew. We've been working hard on this car every night, and it's sure paying off.
Now, a lot of sports fans like to have rivalries, and I want to tell the fans about something I saw earlier tonight. After that hard-fought victory for Mitchell last week, you getting the best of him this week, I saw Richard and your brother having a good old time during the drivers' meeting. You guys actually get along pretty well for arch enemies, don't you?
Nah, we're on enemies. I mean, I got selling parts. I can't be his enemy.
He congratulated you on a great run last week, and now it's Bobby Henry returning to victory lane for the 4th time this season in the R&R Motorsports 11. Locations for all general admission ticket holders tonight. Adam Kostelnik, 7-time Jennerstown winner, starts from the outside of row 1, and there's the green flag. Three-wide battle for second. Burbage comes out with the runner-up position, and Joe Nicola making a move through the field in car 69. Front row starter Adam Kostelnik in the 05 car, falling back on lap 1, and Henry will lead him around, and Tavermina spins into the wall on the front straight. Both of the top 2 drivers in the Subway Street Stock standings have problems tonight. Championship leader Frank Turek hits the inside wall on the back straight in his heat race, and the driver second in the championship points chase, the Hammer Tavermina, tears down billboards on the front straight inside wall. And company from Subway as the green flag waves again, 19 laps to go. Bill Henry the leader and the Subway Challenge driver of the night. Rich Burbage in car 77, just like Henry, a street stock veteran seeking his first career feature victory, and Tavermina returns to the front straight. Very slow moving into turn number 1, the Hammer, who might not be able to get on the Hammer as a result of that damage, while the lead battle intensifies. Door to door on lap number 2, Rich Burbage officially taking the lead from Henry. Joe Nicola, the 69, diving to the inside, looking to maybe pass 2 cars in 1 lap. He has not yet cleared Henry as Burbage continues out front. Newcastle's Rich Burbage sliding out of turn 4 to lead another lap. Joe Nicola, the Ford in second position now officially, Car number 69 with Adam Kostelnik, the modified champion, third. Now Adam Kostelnik takes the second spot away from Nicola. He gets the left front down into the apron of the racetrack, kicking up dust at the front of the field, but just as quickly as he took second, Kostelnik is looking to make a move on leader Rich Burbage, the unsponsored 77 car, a veteran street stock racer who tows more than 2 hours from Newcastle, Pennsylvania to race here each week. On lap number 5, still officially the leader by inches at the scoring line, but Kostelnik moves out to a full car length in front of Burbage and clears him in the pass for the lead. Kostelnik, the leader in the 0-5 over Burbage in 77. Challenge for fourth, the 34 of Nicola, nearly making contact with the 31 of Phillips in turn 1, working lap 7 of 20. Joe Nicola, the 4-time winner, looking to the inside of Burbage's 77 car. This time there is contact between Rich Nicola in 34 and Sean Phillips in 31. They lose ground to the third place car of Burbage, but both continue on door to door as Joe Nicola is now up to second despite the contact of his uncle Rich Nicola in 34. Adam Kostelnik in the 0-5, so many times a modified winner here at Motordrome. In street stock action, he makes only occasional starts in the Folkmeyer Racing 05. Last week, he placed second in the biggest event of the season and now sees the crossed flags indicating halfway through tonight's Subway street stock feature with a 4-time winner, Joe Nicola, in striking distance in the second spot. Burbage is all by himself in third, Rich Nicola up to fourth over Phillips now, and Frank Turek in car 5 after that heat race damage, not able to be a threat for top 5 positions at this time. Early leader Bill Henry a little bit off the pace. Bad news for the Subway Meatball Sub fans. In turn 3, the battle for the lead is a Chevrolet Monte Carlo versus the Ford Thunderbird of Nicola, car 69. Adam Kostelnik in the 0-5 from East McKeesport, Pennsylvania, and West Mifflin's Joe Nicola leading this field. Rich Burbage still having a great night, possibly headed for a podium finish as he rides third with 6 laps to go. Joe Nicola in car 69 may be within striking distance. He knows how to win races this season. He was almost absent entirely from the 2005 season of competition, but came back in a big way, winning on opening night and 3 more times since. Adam Kostelnik has modified victories, but still looking to find Subway street stock victory lane this season in the 05. This may be his 4th start of the season in that machine, and he and Nicola are very close racing for the lead. Kostelnik with now less than a car length. At the scoring line on lap 16, Nicola pulls almost to the door of Kostelnik's 05. white flag in the air, and Kostelnik's lead is just as big as it's been all race long now, 2 or 3 car lengths separating him from Nicola. He's been to victory lane so many times with the Viglione Motorsports Modified number 60 as a 2-time track champion. And now for the first time in years in the Subway Street Stock division, Adam Kostelnik goes to victory lane in the Folkmeyer 05. Well, Adam Kostelnik, the start of this feature race looked like you weren't going to have anything to say about the outcome. From a front row starting position after last week's valiant run to second place, what went wrong for you at the wave of the green flag tonight?
Yeah, this car set up for Jennerstown. It's just way too tight. It was bottom and out, so I changed a bunch of stuff around for the feature and made the wrong change. But once I got on the bottom, I was able to keep it down, and I did a hell of a job blocking Joe Nicola because he was there. And I just kept looking over my shoulder. I raced behind me more than I raced in front of me tonight.
Now, with that start at the beginning of the race, you're saying that was pretty much not being aware of the changes that you made yourself between heat and feature?
Nah, I just made the car too tight, and like I said, it was pushing like a bear all the way in. I had to go in real easy, but I could come off really good. But like I said, just a good deal with this team. You know, I mean, we wrecked it up here last week. We wrecked it at Jennerstown real bad, had to put a horn on it. Just a good effort for the team. My brother, Greg Praser, John Kajava, Chucky Slate. Like I said, man, hard work for me. Buzzy Viglione helped me out this week. I thank my sponsors, Het Corporation, Stan Transmission. And most of all, I got to thank Tube City Beer, Pete up on the hill, because after this week working 40 hours and working 40 hours on this, I'm going to get drunk tonight. Thanks, Pete.
Hey, we know an awful lot about that modified you always bring to victory lane. Tell us a little bit about this car, who owns it, where it was built, how old it is.
This car is actually built in '89. It's an old Pell Bendick car. This is the car I won the championship in. This car could actually have antique plates. Jeff Folkmeyer owns it now, and like I said, this is the first time I won in a street stock with this old car. But like I said, just hats off to Folkmeyers. You know, Denine's mom passed away. My sympathies for her, you know. But thanks for all the fans coming out. We're getting drunk tonight.
He's going to celebrate after a Subway Street Stock victory. Adam Kostelnik with the 05 car. Aaron Minjock and row 2, it's Jimmy Christoffel and Clifford Abbott. So we get set to go 15 laps of racing for the Yellow Book Chargers. All night long, these guys have been eager to go 3 wide, and it's happened twice already on lap 1. Victor Keller in the unnumbered but scored as 11 Monte Carlo, and up top, the Buick Regal of Aaron Minjock fighting for the lead. Kellers are now side by side fighting for second. Tracy Keller, the points leader in number 1, passing by the car he drove earlier this season. Victor Keller falls back to 3rd. Denny Keller up to 4th. Keller making contact with Keller. The 11 of Victor Keller receives rear contact from the 13 of Denny Keller. And there's going to be an awkward family dinner sometime this week. With Robbie Hott in the 16 and Rick Broadwater in the 9, taking them back to the green flag. 13 laps to go. Rick Broadwater in the 9 car, spinning in front of several competitors, bringing out another caution, and the lap was not scored or completed. We saw some smoke coming from the 9 car under that caution period, and some keen observers noting that liquid pouring from that car probably caused the spin. Not sure if it's oil or perhaps water coming out of the 9 car. We were maybe seeing steam instead of smoke. But Rick Broadwater was a 2-time winner last season, one of the strongest racers in this division. And it's not like him to spin by himself unless he had some fluid leaking from that Oldsmobile. The 95 is a-coming. Stokes started last. There's the green flag, and instantly Stokes looks to the outside of Neidhart, the rookie. Lead battle still Tracy Keller in the 1, the points leader, Aaron Minjock in 34. They might trade paint, but how would you be able to tell? A pair of black cars fighting for the lead, and Minjock hangs onto it by a fender working lap 3. Door to door in turn number 3. Keller on the inside, Minjock on the outside, and Keller has now cleared the 34 machine by 4 car lengths out of turn 4 to pick up the lead. In 4th position, Jimmy Stokes in car 95, closing in on the 04 of Jimmy Christoffel. Contact made in the battle for 3rd, lightly Jimmy Stokes in the 95, just barely touching the right rear of the 04, make that the left rear of the 04 of Christoffel. And now after the inside didn't work, Stokes switches to the high lane. And the 13 of Keller locked bumpers with the 51 of Clifford Abbott down the front straight. Caution flag once again. I saw that one happen on the front straight. 13 of Denny Keller tried to make a low side pass, and he locked the front bumper of his car with the 51 of Clifford Abbott. On the way into turn 1, both cars were hooked together by their bumpers, and we need a caution on lap 6. With championship leader Tracy Keller bringing them back up to full speed out of turn 4. Stokes in the 95, battling back to the outside of Neidhart, closing in on the Malibu of Robbie Hott, the 16 car. Jimmy Stokes told us in Victory Lane last week that he might postpone his retirement and make a run for the track championship next year because he believes Tracy Keller's already got the title locked up this year. Another feature win would help that cause as Keller sees the crossed flags indicating halfway. Door to door in the battle for 3rd, Jimmy Christoffel, the rookie, and the 4-time winner, Jimmy Stokes. Stokes takes away the position on lap number 9 officially. Matt Gardner in the 7, now the man on the move at mid-pack, passing the Neidhart 68 and the Robbie Hott 16 car. The Nowak 7 coming to life late in the event. Jimmy Stokes is closing quickly on 2nd place, Aaron Minjock in 34. Minjock very happy to use the higher lane of the speedway, so we'll see if Stokes can make an inside pass as the leader approaches the slower moving Broadwater Oldsmobile. Minjock by inches on lap 13 maintains 2nd spot, but Stokes, threading the needle between Minjock and Broadwater, takes over the runner-up position with 2 laps to go. If in fact Stokes is the fastest car on the racetrack, can he reel in Tracy Keller in 2 laps? Make that a lap and 10 feet as Keller gets the white flag. Extending his championship points lead with another victory in car number 1. Tracy Keller takes the checkered flag. .530 as you drive to the speedway. And now a round of applause for Tracy Keller in car number 1. Well, Tracy, come on over here because I have something to tell you. You were up there leading this race. And I'm not sure that you could see from the front because you were way out front. Your relatives, they got to running into each other back there.
That's why here.
Is that going to make for an awkward family dinner coming up here in the near future?
Nah, we all get along pretty good. We'll just blow it off and fix the car up and we'll be back.
I know he'll be back for sure because he's leading the championship chase. In fact, this car was borrowed from one of those relatives, and I don't think you're ready to give it up now, are you?
No, that's why he's driving mine and I'm driving his here. It's too good to give up right now.
Last week, Jimmy Stokes won the feature, and he thinks that you're uncatchable in the track championship race now. So he's going to postpone his retirement and come back and win a championship. You think you have this title locked up yet?
No, by any means. There's 5 races to go. One bad night could put us back here with Aaron, and they all got good cars. You know, we just got to pull a good peel and get up front and just take off from there.
Speaking of good cars, how about thanking the crew and sponsors that make this one of those great cars?
I got to really thank my brother Vic for this. He lent me the car to run. He's supposed to be driving it, and he's just kind of turning wrenches for me now. Now he's driving the other car, but we got my sister Vicky, we got Missy and Jamie, and my daughter Samantha and Emily. But we got to really thank Bob Cosell, U-Pull-It, BK Electric, King's Hotel, Ariel Machining, Howie Bayless Photos, Ankrum Signs and Vinyl Graphics, and I think that's all.
A division-leading 4th win for Tracy Keller in car number 1.